Suspiria. For the past 15 years, I have tried and failed to watch this movie all the way through. I don't know why. Maybe it's the abstractness of it. Maybe it's just really weird and off-putting. I watched the newer one from 2018 and I really liked that one. I love the soundtrack by Goblin. I mean, like, I bought the special edition on fucking vinyl. I love this thing. That makes me a total poser. I understand, having not actually seen the whole movie. I don't know. I've never really been able to just sit down and watch the whole movie. So it's time. Let's take a trip back to 1977 and watch Dario Argento's supposed horror masterpiece, Suspiria. Susie Bannion is on her way to Germany to do ballet. There is some type of prestigious ballet school. She's been accepted to it. She's going there to live and work and become a ballerina. Upon her arrival, she is walking out of the airport, and there it is, the absolute banger of a theme song by Goblin. It starts playing, but in a specific type of way. Susie is walking towards the exit doors, and every time they open and close, when it opens, we hear that song. When they close, the song stops. It creates this weird calm versus kind of chaotic. She's moving out into this world that feels very unfamiliar, unknown, and a little twisted. This whole scene is just great. I love it. Just as an opener, it's awesome. It just creates so much tension. We see like the automatic gears in the doors, like the inner workings. It's very like violent. As soon as she walks outside, this big, huge gust of wind just blows at her. It's raining like insanely hard. She's trying to hail a cab down and almost getting hit. She's like in the road, like get out of the road without doing anything scary or violent at all. It is doing all of those things somehow with things that are very normal and ordinary. She's finally able to hail a cab and make her way to the academy. And they pull up to this beautiful red and gold building, and as she gets out, a girl opens up the front door, and she's kind of looking off to the side, talking, yelling at somebody. She's not paying attention to Susie at all, and she looks like she's in shock or afraid of something. As Susie approaches the front door, she just takes off out into the rain. What the fuck was that all about? Susie phones inside, and they're like, "We don't know who you are. Go away." She's like, "I talked to somebody. I'm supposed to be here." They're like, "I don't know. Fuck off. Fuck off, lady." So she gets back in the cab and leaves. And as the cab is driving away, we see the girl from the front door running through the trees. This scene is awesome. It's so scary looking. It's amazing. I love it. We are now following that girl who ran away from the academy, and she ends up in this incredibly unique building. Gotta talk about this. We're 5 minutes in, and we've seen a lot of just visual things happening. There's already been so many examples of color being used, like washing the screen with different colors. The architecture and buildings are super colorful or just incredibly unique. Interiors are very done up and stylized. That's one of the biggest strengths of this movie. The buildings, the architecture, the interiors, the costumes, everything is doing something that just makes it so vibrant and crazy. And it really makes the movie a standout in the horror genre because of just how visually extravagant, I don't even know, maximalist maybe you could call it, but it's just so different from everything else that you're used to. This building is an apartment where one of her friends lives. She tells her friend, like, "I got kicked out of school, but that's not even the problem. You wouldn't understand." And then the windows fly open on their own, and her friend's like, "Girl, what the hell is wrong with you?" And she's like, "They opened on their own, I swear to God." Then we get this huge moment of tension. She's looking out the window like there's something there, but we can't see anything. The music is playing. It's just, ooh, you could cut it with a knife. She keeps looking out the window, and then we see a pair of eyes. Just a pair of eyes in this blackness. Then this old hairy arm smashes through the window, grabs her by the head, and smashes her face into the window until it breaks. Her friend is freaking out, yelling for help, while she is being stabbed multiple times by this hairy arm. She even gets stabbed in her fucking heart. I don't know if I can show it or not, but it is so brutal. This is one of the moments in this movie, maybe, for me, this might be like the most brutal scene, and we're barely into it. We have like an open chest cavity and a knife just continually, like, it's just so raw in its violence. It's like, oh, fuck. I can watch some pretty brutal stuff. I mean, in horror movies, it can honestly be fun or funny, the way that violence and brutality can get ramped up. But this one is just There's something different to it. The effects aren't even particularly that good. I don't know. It's messed up, man. It's fucking messed up, man. Whoever this arm belongs to then strings her up from the skylight and breaks the glass, hanging her bloody body from the ceiling. It is super fucked up. And her poor friend is killed too. All the glass that shatters from the skylight falls down and impales her. What the fuck? Susie is back at the academy the next day. We see this blind guy with his dog walk in. Don't forget about this guy. He's going to come up later. She explains what happened last night and then is introduced to Madame Blank, who says that she knew her aunt. She used to dance with her back in New York City. Hey, and there's her nephew, Albert, who dresses like a pilgrim. Look at this Tiny Tim looking motherfucker. And there's just so much stuff going on in this main lobby of this academy. There's so many little characters, people, the interior, everything. It's all going ham in here. It's unhinged. There's a giant Romanian. There's carpet on the walls. They tell Susie about the ex-student who was murdered last night. That, hey, that's the girl that she saw at the door when she showed up. And then they take her upstairs where she meets all the other dancers who are all just so freaking weird. Olga is her roommate, and I think she might be the weirdest one of all. She tells her she pays $50 a week in rent, and my God, only $50 for this place in this economy? Some dude shows up and brings her bags, and she's like, come on, hang out. And he's like, nah, I can't. You can tell she totally has a crush on him. Olga says that Pat had a crush on him too, and Pat is her old roommate, the girl who died. Olga's like, she was saying something last night, and she's trying to remember what it was. Something like Secret Iris? Secret Irish? Secret Irish. Blank tells Susie that her room is ready, and she's like, oh, I figured I'd just stay with Olga. She's like, all right, whatever, bitch. Do whatever you want. And she starts walking to her class, and she sees this old woman and Arthur, the little pilgrim boy. They're just sitting in the hallway staring at her. Very creepily. Then, boom. Headshot. She gets hit with a strong beam of light right in the face. It's coming out of some crystal or something that this old lady's holding. Whatever it is, it completely fucks her up. She's stumbling all the way to class. This scene, great. Love it so much. It just has such a sense of like, what in the hell is going on? She goes into class and she tells the teacher like, ma'am, I am fucked up. And she's like, tough shit, honey. It's time to dance. And she dances until she collapses and then bleeds out of her nose and mouth. Welcome to your first day at the academy, sweetheart. She wakes up in a strange room surrounded by all kinds of weird people from the school. Blank says that Olga brought her stuff and this is her room. This is where she'll be staying from now on. How nice. A doctor injects her with something. It's to help with some type of internal hemorrhaging. That's what they're saying happened to her. Highly doubt that. He also tells her that he suggests that she drinks wine every night. I think that's what the doctor prescribed to my stepmom growing up. She's neighbors with a girl named Sarah. We kind of meet her, and Sarah leaves, and Susie starts brushing her hair in the mirror when she finds a fucking maggot. I don't know about you, but maggots are just a total no-go for me. Disgusting. You know that scene in The Fly? Like, and there are maggots everywhere. They're falling from the ceiling. They're on everything. Turns out the maggots were coming from the attic. They're all coming out of a crate of old sausages and hot dogs. The administration sets up a little sleeping area for all of the girls since there's maggots everywhere in this kind of dance room, gymnasium looking place. And it's divided with this sheet, like the administrators will all sleep on the other side of the sheet and the whole room is red. It's like backlit. I love this. This movie, I'll keep saying it. It's visually stunning. Everybody goes to sleep. Sarah wakes up because she recognizes, like, there's this snoring sound coming behind the sheet, and she knows who it is, and she starts telling Susie that it's somebody called the directress. Next up, there's this whole scene where they fire the blind guy with the dog. He was the piano player for the dancers. He'd come in and play. They fire him because his dog bit Arthur, which I don't blame that dog. I would bite that little fucker too. Next night, Susie wakes up and Sarah is in her bed talking about how the teachers are all leaving, but then Susie's like, no, they're not. They're inside the school. They all just go to this one weird, like, secret spot. Then we cut to the blind guy. Now that he's recently unemployed, what do? You go to the bar, you get drunk. What's it like for a blind person being drunk, I wonder? But he leaves the bar, and as he's walking home, he ends up in this giant, like, courtyard, kind of looks like maybe war memorials or something, I don't know. But there's no one around, and his dog starts freaking the fuck out, barking like crazy. This whole scene goes on for a while, this dog freaking out, and him kind of looking around like, who's there? Who's there? And then suddenly his dog just fucking rips his throat out. And it is gnarly because then they make it seem like, I don't know, they probably fed the dog like meat or something to kind of rip and pull at, but it seems like the dog is literally eating this guy. It's Susie and Sarah are at the pool, and Sarah tells her that she was Pat's friend, like her totally best friend, and that she's the one who told Pat that she should leave. She thinks that something weird is going on in this school, which, you think? This girl's very observant, and apparently Pat had been taking notes on everything that goes on within the school. Love this shot in the pool, like the design, great. Sarah wakes up Susie, but Susie got pretty fucked up on wine. Doctor prescribed, so she's totally out of it. She can't keep her eyes open. Sarah's shaking her like, hey, somebody stole all of those notes except for like this one sheet. And Susie's like, Susie passes right back out, and then Sarah hears voices in her room, which is right next door. The lights are turning on. Shit's getting crazy. Somebody's after her. Somebody's looking for her. She gets the fuck out of there and ends up in a different part of this building where she's then attacked. She ends up locking herself in a room and somebody tries to get in. I really liked this, like how slow, like it's almost tedious, but it works. Like it builds up so much tension of you see this knife go through the door. It's trying to unlatch this thing and she's just losing her mind. She ends up going out of a window and into a room that is full of razor wire. Ouch. Why is this room full of razor wire? For Sarah to jump in, I guess. I don't know. And she is stuck in there for a while. I mean, she's practically swimming laps in this thing. Then a black arm grabs her and slits her throat. Goodbye, Sarah. They all tell Susie that Sarah decided to leave last night. Susie decides, I gotta figure out what is going on. So she goes to see Sarah's psychiatrist, played by a young, hot, sexy Udo Kier. His name is Frank, and he talks for a long time, but the gist of it is that the school is said to have been started by a witch, and they think that it's run by a coven of witches. He then tells her, hey, go talk to this other psychiatrist guy that I know, and he'll give you more exposition about what's going on. Basically, witches running the school, witches be crazy, dude. She goes back to the academy and she's looking for everybody, but nobody's there. She goes back to call Frank, but the line cuts, and then she dumps all the food and wine down the toilet. She sees two glowing lights outside the window and opens it, and then a bat flies in and gets caught in her hair. The bat falls on the floor, and then she covers it with a towel where she smashes it repeatedly with a stool, and like, Jesus, lady, what did this bat do to you? I'm pro bat. She picks up Sarah's notes about how they never leave the school, and she follows the footstep paths on the paper to find this red room. When she opens it, she can hear women laughing. It's two haggy cooks, and one is the one that flashed her with that crystal thing. She sneaks past them just barely. She enters this carpeted room with no visible exit. When she spots some painted flowers on the wall, secret iris. It's an iris. 3 irises. Something like that. It's a flower. She turns one of the flowers on the wall and it opens up this hidden door and she goes in. She follows this really long hallway and we see Blank at the end with Albert and some others. She's yelling about how they need to get rid of this American girl. She's eating and drinking stuff and talking about power and sickness and death. I don't know. Susie starts jolting a little bit, and then she finds Sarah's corpse. It's battered and bloody, and I think they put, like, pins in her eyes. It's fricked up, dude. She goes into a side room where we hear that wheezing snore again. It's the directress. Her name is Elena Marcus. She tries to go back into the hallway, but this big, dumb Romanian is out there, and she hurriedly shuts the door. She knocks over this big crystal peacock, and it scatters all these balls on the floor, and Elena Marcus wakes up. It's all very scary. She's like, you American bitch, you're gonna die. And then Sarah's corpse comes through the door to kill Susie. Susie's scared stiff, but she can see the outline of Marcus, so she stabs it, and then we see this old poopy hag with a knife through her throat, and she dies. Then the whole school starts exploding, and the staff are all dying, and Susie runs for it. She makes it outside where it's raining, just like the night that she got there. She is so happy. The building catches on fire. The end. I loved this. I feel like I'm at this point in my life where movies don't surprise me anymore. Like, it's very rare to watch something that I'm like, wow. Especially in the horror genre. But I feel like I've just, like, been asleep this whole time because this is amazing. I loved this. Easily going into like my all-time favorites of horror. I think it's incredible. This movie is like 50 years old and it's still so abstract and experimental and unique. Been saying it the entire video, but I mean the art direction, the interiors, the sets, everything just amazing. The use of color all throughout the movie. Pretty much any scene could be framed as a piece of artwork. Like it's one of those kind of movies. A visual feast, if you will. I think the actress who plays Susie is great. I love her look. The way that she shows dread and confusion. She is iconic in this. The music, again, mwah. Love it. It builds tension and it just really adds to like the actual legitimately scary stuff and brutal violence that's happening. It's such a great compliment to everything. Having said all of that and singing all of these praises, I understand that this movie is not perfect. This is an Italian giallo film, which I can't say I've seen many of those, but like the dubbing is super weird. I guess the trend was that no matter what your nationality was, you just spoke that language and they overdubbed all of it in English. So it just can be a little weird. The story is also a little confusing. Like, I don't feel like I had any trouble following it. It's pretty basic. Like, American girl goes to Germany to go to some ballet academy. That academy is run by witches who are like killing girls, I guess, or I don't know what they're doing. Witch stuff. Who knows? But I feel like the movie isn't so concerned with its plot and more just with being kind of experimental and surreal and strange. The way that I go into movies for this channel is just completely open-minded. Whatever's happening on screen is just happening. I'm not going to sit here and analyze every single plot hole or be cynical about the choices that people are making. What I'm watching is what's happening. I accept that. And I feel like with this movie, that is the mindset that you should have going into it. You're going to enjoy it a lot more if you just take what's happening as it's happening instead of trying to be like, wait, what is this or what is that? You are going to be disappointed. It's movies like this that remind me why I love movies in the first place. I can feel the old man in me saying, they don't make them like this anymore, but they don't. You never see stuff like this anymore. And that's not to say that there's not really great, thoughtful, artistic horror movies out there. There are, and I love them. But I feel like there's this aspect of filmmaking that was happening here that isn't happening at all anymore, that has such a raw feel to it. Like, things feel almost improvised most of the time. There seems to be a lot of thought going into things, and also a complete lack of thought going into it as well. And I think that it just works on a weird level. I don't know how to describe it. It's just something else, you know? I definitely recommend this to any horror fan, especially if you like your stuff a little weirder. It's very physical horror mixed with psychological and supernatural. Argento is definitely on my radar now. I am very interested and excited to watch more of his movies. I hear that they're all bangers, but this is the one he's most known for. What do you think? Have you seen Suspiria? Do you love it as much as I do? Do you have an Argento movie? Like, what should I watch next? I was thinking Bird with Crystal Plumage, but if you think that there's one better that I should follow this with, let me know. Sound off in the comments. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more, and thanks for watching. Bye.